With the Giants kicking off against the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow and the injury report just being released, Big Blue just got some bad news. Before we dive into that, though, Tom Downey, host of the Cowboys Report here at Chat Sports, has been talking crap to me since I got hired in 2021. And even though the Cowboys are 1-2 and the worst defense in the National Football League, he's still talking noise this week. He got inside my graphic sheet, and he wanted me to say this on today's show. Dak is your daddy, Eli is overrated, and the Cowboys Report has 3 times the amount of subscribers as Giants now. I said, you know what, Tom? I'll show the real ones this as long as we can make a deal. And this is the deal we made. If this video, if today's show gets 3,000 likes, which would be a channel record here at Giants Now, Tom Downey said he's going to put a toaster in his bathtub. I think it'd be pretty cool to see that. Hit that thumbs up icon and make sure we get it done. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we are about 24 hours away from Thursday Night Football, where Big Blue is going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking into existence, the story is changing. The Giants are going to get their lick back tomorrow night. The bad news, though, the Giants are going to be without potentially 2 of their best corners. Not potentially, they are. Andru Phillips, the rookie who has been playing like a veteran, is not going to play against the Dallas Cowboys. And he's your starting slot corner, and he's been the best rookie in football on defense. I'll say that again. Andru Phillips, the 3rd-round pick out of Kentucky, has the highest PFF grade of any rookie that plays defense. Giants also have Malik Neighbors, who is also the highest graded rookie on offense. But man, Drew Phillips being out is definitely going to be tough to overcome for the New York Giants. The Cowboys offense, it flows through CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb lines up in the slot at over 50%. And now you're going to have a guy like McLoud who's coming back guard him. Maybe Deonte Banks travels. But with no Drew Phillips, you're going to have to go deeper into your depth chart to try to slow down CeeDee Lamb. Also, Adoree Jackson is going to be out for the New York Giants. He's dealing with a calf injury. Drew Phillips is dealing with a calf injury. The calf injury has snake-bitten the New York Giants. And look, Adoree Jackson doesn't necessarily play in the slot, but he at least gives you another option to slow down a guy like CeeDee Lamb. Now it's going to be up to Deonte Banks, McLoud, and I pray it's not Isaiah Simmons in the slot. Look, it's not a great week to be thin at that nickel corner spot. CeeDee Lamb lives out of the slot position. We've got stats on it, and we're going to show you why the Giants are going to have multiple sets of eyeballs on 88 if they want to get to 2-2 on this season. But before we do, I want to hear from you. Who do you got winning the football game? NYG, DAL. Let me know. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. While that ad rolls, scroll on down and let me know who you got. All righty, CeeDee Lamb. He is a receiver. That's one of the best in the business. Look, as much as I want to hate on him, I can't. We actually played for the same Little League football team. He was a little bit younger than me. So I've been following CD and his career for a long, long time. And he's a special talent, one of the best football players I've ever seen. And where he has his most success is in the slot. 57.8% of the snaps this year come out of the slot. Last year, 57, then 62.5 before that. 93% of his snaps in the rookie year were in the slot. Trying to say he's going to be in the slot, and the Cowboys are going to be hunting that matchup because they know Drew Phillips isn't playing. They know that Adoree Jackson is not playing, and the Giants may not have the best answer to slow down number 88. And we are used to CeeDee Lamb having big games against the Giants. Games like 151 yards, 77 yards, 106 yards, 87 yards, 124 yards, 84 yards. Seems like I can still have bad memories of Darnay Holmes holding CeeDee Lamb. He consistently tears up this football team. And one thing I started to think about when the injury report came down about Phillips and Jackson being out is, are we going to see Deonte Banks travel to guard CeeDee Lamb? We've seen Banks so far this year do a bit of traveling, going from outside corner on the left to outside corner on the right. He did it with Amari Cooper. He did it with CeeDee Lamb. He did it with Justin Jefferson in week 1. He did it with Terry McLaurin in week 2. He did it with Amari Cooper in week 3. Will he do it with CeeDee Lamb? We just haven't really seen Deonte Banks come in the slot all that much throughout his career. This year, he only did it 8 snaps, and he didn't do it all that much in his rookie year. So I think it'd be asking a lot for a guy like Banks to do both, play the outside and the slot position. But sometimes in the NFL, you just got to work on your matchups and the best ones you got, and it might be Banks in the slot versus CeeDee Lamb. One thing about Deonte Banks I will say is he's been sticky in coverage so far this year. The Week 3 lockdown report from Pro Football Focus pretty much shows you how tight of coverage do you have. And actually, Deonte Banks was pretty high up on that list. You can see him on the screen right there, coming in at 63.6% out of 22 opportunities. Thing is, he just needs to play the ball better. He needs to get his head around, and he needs to be stronger at the catch point. He can mirror wide receivers. He's athletic enough to stick in the hip pocket of these number one wide receivers. Just got to get his head around, got to get more comfortable. Hopefully, he could do that against 88 this week, or it could be a long day once again for this Giants defense. Good news, though, as we were talking about some bad news, Nick McLoud, he's going to be back for the New York Giants. Has not played since Week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings when he did have that knee injury. Missed Week 2, missed Week 3, but he's going to be back this week, and I expect for him to be the guy, if Deonte Banks does not travel inside the slot, to be primarily matched up with CeeDee Lamb or whoever that slot receiver is. Look, we came into this year talking about how thin that cornerback depth chart was for the New York Giants. And for now, you're even thinner. Not going to have Phillips. Not going to have Adoree Jackson. Could we see some Trey Hawkins? They added Art Green from the practice squad. Maybe he's going to get some snaps this week. Look, I don't know what the Giants' plan exactly is going to be, but they need this room to play their best game of the season. The Dallas Cowboys, despite being 1-2, still have an elite offense, still have a potent offense, and they can throw the football all over the football field. They run through 88. You slow him down, you get him to pout, kind of like he was in that game against the Baltimore Ravens, Giants are going to have a chance to win this football game. You want to do that? You want to go out and beat the Dallas Cowboys? Subscribe to the channel. We're in a subscriber battle. We were down 1 subscriber earlier today. Now we're down 4 subscribers. We are right there. Don't be the person. Don't be the person that does not subscribe and causes us to lose a subscriber battle. I want to talk some noise to Tom Downey. If you love the Giants and you want free videos every day, smash that sub button and let's talk some noise to Mr. Thomas Downey. Coming up next, we got a full injury report coming up to talk about the Cowboys injuries, to talk about the Giants injuries, and Darius Slayton. He has been listed as questionable. We're going to try to figure out if he's going to play. And maybe it's going to be Jalen Hyatt's week. We'll break that down. But if you want to get a Malik Neighbors jersey ready to go, chatsports.com/neighbors. Get your Malik Neighbors jersey. They've got a bunch of different ones. They've got the white. They've got the blue. They've got the throwback Red 100 Century one. Check it out. Chatsports.com/neighbors. Chatsports.com/neighbors. So the full injury report for both teams is now on screen, and no real injuries to talk about for the Dallas Cowboys that aren't going to be out there. Guys that are doubtful, Marquise Bell, a safety. Kalen Carson is doubtful as well, so they will be a little bit thinner at that cornerback spot, but Trayvon Diggs was a full participant. CeeDee Lamb, a full participant, as well as DeMarcus Lawrence. Mozzie Smith, full participant, as well as John Stevens. So it sounds like the only 2 guys that aren't really going to play are Marquise Bell and Kalen Carson, and those are really just depth piece. Bell has played a little bit more over the past couple of weeks, but look, they're thin there. Still no Deron Bland. They're going to be thin in that secondary, and if Slayton's not able to go, someone's going to have to step up. He injured that thumb in the game against Cleveland. He ended up coming back and finishing the game. He was a part of the victory formation after Singletary slid down short of the goal line. So I'm not sure if it's going to keep him out of this ball game. I'd like to see him get some more targets if he's going to be out there the amount he is, because he hasn't really done that much at all this year. 3 catches in week 1, 26 yards. 3 catches in week 2, 33 yards. And last week, he had 1 reception for 7 yards. And I get it, when you're targeting Malik Neighbors 18 times and you're feeding him the ball and he's top of the league in targets and catches, there's not a lot of piece of the pie left to go around. But Darius Slayton is better than this. And when we show you the difference in snap count between Slayton and Hyatt, it's like, how does the dude only have 7 catches? Someone on this wide receiver depth chart, though, is going to have to step up this week besides Malik Neighbors, because Zimmer, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, I think he's probably said it 500 times. We cannot let Malik Neighbors beat us. He is the only player on their team. If we're going to beat the Giants, we got to slow down Neighbors. And if we do slow down Neighbors, we will beat the Giants. So if Slayton's limited or not going to play, could this be the week for Jalen Hyatt? Like, it makes sense, right? You want more explosive plays. One of your more explosive receivers may not play. Could this be the week where Hyatt steps in? I thought maybe last week could be that week. But Darius Slayton got 58 snaps compared to Hyatt's 10. And the week before that, Slayton got 49 snaps and Hyatt got 12. The week before that, Slayton got 50 and Hyatt got 15. I don't love that Hyatt's snap count continues to go down every single week. Look, I 100% agree, and I know that Darius Slayton is a better wide receiver than Jalin Hyatt. Slayton is better than Hyatt right now, but Slayton's also going to be a free agent at the end of the year, most likely not going to return to this football team. And Hyatt was drafted in the 3rd round back in 2023, and he gave up multiple draft picks to move up and go get him. And he's also someone that when he's on the field, defenses have to take note because he had an average depth of target at 21 yards. In 2023, he had 6 catches of more than 20-plus yards, 16 yards per catch. He could take the top off the defense. And Darius Slayton should not be playing 5 times the amount of snaps as Jalin Hyatt. I understand we're trying to win football games. And I understand Darius Slayton is better. But Darius Slayton does not move the needle when it comes to winning football games 5 times the amount as Jalin Hyatt. I'm not saying it needs to be a 50-50 split. I'm not even saying it needs to be a 60-40 split. What about 70-30? Like, it shouldn't be 200 snaps to 30 snaps. I don't know. I'm a fan of Jalin Hyatt. He can take the top off the defense. He's a threat to go the distance every single time he's on the field. And if you don't shade the safety that way, he's got one route, right? You just run right by him, especially with a hurt cornerback room like the Dallas Cowboys are operating with. If you want the Giants to play Jalin Hyatt more, type those 13s down in the comment section. How many times have we seen a wide receiver wear number 13 tear up the Dallas Cowboys? Maybe we get it again this week. Type those 13s and make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Same handle on Instagram. And I'll do this. First 10 people that give me a follow today, I'll give you a follow back.